from on the academic side, the receiving end, and maybe Jackie from the offer end, what's happening? What are some of the interesting new constructs, ideas, value proposition components that you think are going to be taking hold going forward?
Well, we have seen perhaps an increase in the level of application to us as an employer, and certainly a big shift in terms of the quality of the candidates that we've seen coming through this season. It's been quite noticeable, particularly at the MBA level. So I think that the investment banking thing is having a difference. And I think, to be honest, IBM is perhaps a different kind of consulting firm than some others, and we do have the perception of a lot more stability and the reality of a lot more stability than some of the other consulting firms have. So I think that's one basis for attraction to us. But I think the consulting profession in general, it's the same thing that it's always been, in that people like to work on something cool. And the nature of what is cool might change, but we have so many different examples of things that we can portray in a very attractive way, whether it be a global transformation type of project, technology driven, but with a very business oriented and benefits realization kind of focus. That's for a brand name, prestigious client type, that is always going to be appealing to the right kind of candidates. But what we see more than ever is the opportunity, the attraction of the opportunity to work on things that are good for the planet or good for the whole corporate citizenship kind of mentality is such a strong piece of the value proposition right now, and it's the number one thing that candidates at that level are interested in.
And from an academic perspective, I think the news is very good for consulting. Students see consulting, one, as a job that they can hit the ground running and use their MBA skills, and that's very attractive. They also know that coming to your firms, they are going to get to be working with some of the most talented people in the world. That would be you guys. And they find that very stimulating and challenging. They know they're going to be dealing with very talented people in industry, and the industries within which they consult. That's still very, very attractive. And combine those two things together, consulting is sometimes seen as continuing education, that I'm getting out of my MBA program, but I get to continue to learn because I'm going to be in a new situation every single day. The difference being that they're getting paid for that continuing education as opposed to going to school. And I think some of the other things that you guys consider, there's not a direct path into consulting, so you consider folks who are changing careers and people from non-traditional backgrounds, and you've also traditionally been very open to international students, which not all companies in the States are, and also the compensation is still an issue. Kids are going into big debt to go into business school, and that's still a big consideration.